What's up, y'all? So I am in the middle of putting a reel together with some of the most powerful, talented people in the industry for the biggest commercial job I've ever had. God willing, it goes through because Lord knows I can use an amazing project like this at this point in my career. But I sort of felt like it's a good idea to maybe share some of the things that I learned from Pac while I take a little break before I jump back into it. So, I learned just as much from things that were working for him as by things that I don't believe are working for him. And a couple things. Look, I think it's safe to say that he was always transforming and was definitely on hyperspace, hyperspeed transformation close to the end of his life, because I think he sort of knew the errors of his ways and he was ready to sort of be done with that. It's interesting because someone asked me, someone made a comment on an exchange that was saying he had a bail hearing or something like that, or you're supposed to go back court on September 14th. And I never thought about the fact that he got into the fight. If it was publicized or seen, that would have probably put him back in prison. But I also know that he had fired David Kenner and he was finding new attorneys for himself. So I don't know what would have happened. I can't really guess about that. But I'll tell you this. He said trust no one. He said no, he wasn't an early bird. He was a late. He was a night owl. He said trust no one. But I'll tell you this. I think the transformed Tupac, an older Tupac, would have changed his mind on that. And I'll tell you why. Because one soldier, one warrior cannot win a war. You need like-minded warriors to be able to win a war. And I think people like Jay-Z and Beyonce have recognized that you need powerful allies and people who have your back. And even though Pac was saying that, I think that was probably more from his pain and the disappointments of being let down by people like Diddy and Biggie and whatnot. So I think that's one thing that I learned. But look, you've got to be discerning, and you have to pick the right people to partner up with. Because I've been fucked over by childhood friends. I've been screwed over by people that I thought had my back, but were just good at manipulating. I've had people take my kindness as weakness. And I'm not going to stop being kind, but once I find out that you're taking advantage of that, then I'm done. The relationship's done, and I will do whatever I need to protect me and my family and my loved ones. So I think Pac would have surrounded himself with like-minded warriors had he been given 4 or 5 months. That's one of the things that I learned. You have to. You can't say trust no one. I don't think you can do that, because you have to trust some people. You just have to pick them with a lot of due diligence and make sure that the relationship is reciprocal, meaning that you give and you take. Tupac was great at manifesting. He would visualize, and I think he was so in tune with his ability to create that anything that he visualized, I think he manifested. I think he manifested the music, he manifested the films, he manifested the 3-picture deal we had, but I also think he manifested the harm that was done to him, both financially, emotionally, and eventually fatally with his life. I think he manifested all of that. But I think it's important to, I read somewhere where it said, feel the feeling, meaning feel what it feels like to get what you want, whether it's riches or health or work or whatever it is. Just a couple minutes, feel what it feels like to sort of have that. And I think Tupac was great at that. He sort of, he was sort of a channel. He let the energy come through him. I think we're all channels. We're all vessels for what I call divinity. Let's see. So there's that. Yeah, so that's it, I guess. That's my little short spiel right now. Anyway, I'll be back. Speak soon. Peace.